An oil lamp is lit in the darkness. Its flame is small, yet it lights the path ahead. So it is with practice. When one has found right livelihood, the next step is to keep that light alive. The Buddha said, "Effort is the wind of awakening. It nourishes wholesome qualities and prevents the unwholesome from arising. Without right effort, wisdom fades. Without it, compassion withers." Right effort, Saṃvara-padhāniyaṃ, is the gentle, steady power that keeps the heart returning to light, not through strain, but through unwavering sincerity. The Buddha taught that an untrained mind is easily swept away by greed, anger, and delusion. Right effort, Saṃvara-padhāniyaṃ, is the power that keeps the heart steady. It unfolds in 4 steps.
Saṃvara-padhāniyaṃ.
1. One should exert energy to prevent unwholesome states from arising.
Pahāna-padhāniyaṃ.
2. One should exert energy to abandon unwholesome states that have already arisen.
Bhāvanā-padhāniyaṃ.
3. One should exert energy to arouse wholesome states that have not yet arisen.
Bhāvetabba-kusala-vīriyaṃ.
4. One should exert energy to develop and cultivate wholesome states that have already arisen. The first effort is protection. Before defilements arise, we stay mindful. In meditation, when the mind rests on the breath, we gently guard its calm, like a gatekeeper who allows only peace to enter. This is preventing unwholesome states from arising. The second effort is awareness. When anger or desire has arisen, do not blame yourself. Just know it and bring the mind back to the breath. Each gentle return is the ending of an unwholesome state. In meditation, when the mind wanders away, we notice it and bring it back to the rising and falling of the abdomen. In that very moment, we are abandoning unwholesome states that have arisen. The third effort is cultivation. When we act with kindness and awareness, goodness begins to bloom. In meditation, when calm and joy arise, we nurture them gently, letting wholesome states expand. The fourth effort is maintenance. When mindfulness is strong, we do not chase experiences. We simply remain clear, gentle, and balanced. Like a steady flame, we allow concentration and wisdom to deepen. In meditation, when mindfulness of the abdomen's rising and falling is continuous and the mind remains undistracted, this is the cultivation and growth of wholesome states. Right effort is not about forcing the mind. It is about direction. It leads us back to awareness, to goodness, to compassion. Each time we return to mindfulness, whether in meditation or daily life, awakening is already unfolding. In a remote forest monastery, a young meditator named Aaron had been meditating for 7 days. He vowed to let nothing disturb his mind. But late at night, his phone lit up, and that familiar ping sounded like a whisper calling him back to the world. He thought, just one quick look. But the moment he reached for the phone, his mind began to stir. Thoughts, desires, memories, all arose together. That was the gate of unwholesome thoughts, quietly opening. Suddenly, he remembered his teacher's words. Guard against unarisen, unwholesome states. As a farmer guards his field, not letting pigs or cattle enter. He took a deep breath, set the phone down, and returned to the gentle rise and fall of his breath. When the mind is no longer carried away by temptation, calmness naturally arises. He realized, True freedom is not turning off the phone, but noticing the impulse to look. In that moment, Aaron experienced the first kind of right effort.
Saṃvara-padhāniyaṃ.
One should exert energy to prevent unwholesome states from arising. What he guarded was not just against the phone's temptation, but against the restless mind itself. When the heart is illuminated by mindfulness, no external world can control it. It was a stormy night. Rain pounded on the roof as loud voices filled the small house. Linda, a father, discovered that his teenage son had skipped school again to play games at a cyber cafe. Anger burst forth like fire. He stormed into the room, belt in hand. The boy stepped back, eyes wide with fear. The father's breath grew heavy, his mind burning like fire. Then, his gaze caught a faded photo on the wall. Himself, years ago, smiling as he held his newborn son. His heart froze in that moment. He lowered the belt, then sat down on the floor, tears mixing with the sound of rain. Who am I punishing? He's only a reflection of who I once was. In that moment, he understood. Anger is not strength, it's poison to the heart. In meditation, it is just like when we notice a wave of anger arising. If we ignore it, it spreads like fire. But if we become aware of it, seeing it with loving kindness, the fire slowly fades away. Later, Linda told his friend, "That night I learned that controlling anger isn't suppression. It's seeing it clearly and letting it go." In that moment, he was practicing the second kind of right effort.
Pahāna-padhāniyaṃ.
One should exert energy to abandon unwholesome states that have already arisen. When anger ceases, love and understanding begin to grow. In the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur, there's a small cafe, plain and quiet. No trendy decor, no fancy ads. Only a wooden sign by the door reads, "The Smile Cafe." Every cup of coffee is made with kindness. Its founder, Amira Tan, had worked 8 years in a multinational company, lost in stress, competition, and endless overtime. Until one day, she saw a boy in a wheelchair being turned away from a restaurant job. That moment pierced her heart. That night, Amira couldn't sleep. She kept thinking of the boy. If no one gives him a chance, how will he live? A new thought began to bloom. Maybe I can do something small. She quit her high-paying job, rented an old shop with her savings. Her friends said, "You're crazy. Opening a cafe now?" She smiled. "I'm not selling coffee. I'm planting kindness." A few months later, the Smile Cafe opened its doors. The first team of staff were all people once rejected. Those with disabilities or hearing challenges. They were shy and awkward at first, but every day Amira greeted them with a smile, teaching patiently how to make coffee, serve, and connect. Customers began to feel something different. Someone said, "Your coffee tastes warmer here." Amira replied, "Because this cup holds courage." In meditation, cultivating the good not yet arisen is like when compassion first blooms in the heart. When we rest attention gently on the breath, on the peaceful rise and fall of the abdomen, a tender wish to be kind to ourselves and all beings quietly awakens. Goodness is not forced. It's the light that grows naturally when the mind becomes still. Today, for every cup sold, The Smile Cafe donates ₱1 Malaysia to support inclusive employment. I just didn't want kindness to stay as an idea, the Buddha said. When goodness not yet arisen is made to arise, it is like spring rain nourishing the earth, and life blossoms everywhere. This is the third right effort.
Bhāvanā-padhāniyaṃ.
One should exert energy to arouse wholesome states that have not yet arisen. In the Mahasi Meditation Center of Yangon, Myanmar, before dawn breaks, the morning bell rings. Soft light spills over the bamboo floor of the hall. Rows of meditators sit in silence. Among them is Ji-Yun Lee, a lay practitioner from South Korea. For 7 years, she has returned here again and again. I'm not chasing special experiences, she says. I just want to stay awake. Every day, she rises at 4 a.m. 1 hour sitting, 1 hour walking, 6 small meals a day, few words spoken. To outsiders, this life seems dull and repetitive. But to Ji-Yun, every breath, every step is a moment of training the mind. When the mind stops resisting repetition, she says, that's where peace begins. Sometimes Ji-Yun's mind wavers. She misses her family, doubts her path, even wants to quit. But her teacher simply tells her, return to the breath, return to the step. So she does. Each time a thought arises, she notices it and comes back. Again and again, her mind grows softer and stronger. The Buddha said, of the good that has arisen, one should strive to sustain it, to perfect it, to bring it to fulfillment. This is the fourth right effort, not seeking new miracles, but protecting the goodness already arisen, allowing it to grow day by day. Ji-Yun's practice is not about reaching an end, but about returning again and again, caring for the wholesome mind, like a small lamp fed with oil each day, shining steadily through the dark. This is the fourth right effort.
Bhāvetabba-kusala-vīriyaṃ.
One should exert energy to develop and cultivate wholesome states that have already arisen. Right effort is not a race of speed, but a devotion to direction. When we guard the goodness within and let it keep growing, that is the truest strength of practice. From guarding against unwholesome states to nurturing the wholesome, this is a long journey of the heart. Each time we return to mindfulness, each time we do not give up, a seed of awakening is sown. Right effort is the step of a practitioner, and when the step becomes steady, that is when right mindfulness begins to arise.